get right into it. Number 7. You've probably heard stuff like, humans only use 10% of their brains, or lightning never hits the same place twice. Sounds smart, right? But nope, totally wrong. So why do people keep saying things like this? Well, our brains aren't built to chase facts. They're built to chase stuff that feels right. And that starts with where we hear these facts. Old school teachers, movies, random posts online. If someone says something confidently and says it a lot, we just believe it. Our brain goes, I've heard this before. Sounds familiar. Must be true. After a while, we lock it in like it's the ultimate truth, and we throw away the key. That's how myths stick around. Number 6. Repetition equals truth illusion. Ever wonder why people keep repeating things that aren't true? It's not just bad memory or laziness. It's something deeper, something built into how the brain works. There's a psychological glitch called the illusory truth effect. It means the more times you hear something, even if it's false, the more your brain starts to believe it. Let's say someone says, humans only use 10% of their brains. You've heard it before. You know it's not true. But if you hear it again and again and again, your brain starts going, maybe? That's because repetition builds familiarity, and the brain loves familiarity. It feels safe. It feels comfortable. It feels true. The brain doesn't always check if something is correct. It checks how familiar it is, and the more familiar a statement becomes, the more true it feels. Over time, your brain starts building shortcuts, mental paths that lead straight to the repeated idea. So even if you're later shown real evidence, your brain might resist it, not because the truth is complicated, but because the myth got there first and louder. In the end, it's not the best idea that wins, it's the one you've heard the most. Number 5, let's talk about one of the sneakiest brain glitches out there, authority bias. This happens when we automatically believe something just because it came from someone who looks smart. If they're wearing a lab coat, standing on a stage, or speaking with confidence, our brains go, yep, sounds legit. It doesn't even matter what they're saying. They could be confidently wrong, and we'd still nod along like it's fact. This starts early. Remember being told, because I said so? Yeah, that's authority bias, being programmed into your brain. So when a teacher, a parent, or someone in a suit says something confidently, your brain assumes they must know what they're talking about, even if they don't, and companies love this. That's why toothpaste ads say 9 out of 10 dentists agree, or shampoo bottles say doctor recommended. Throw in a white coat and a graph, and suddenly the product feels trustworthy, even if it's total junk. Same thing with social media. Put a check mark next to a name, and people treat their opinions like truth. Verified equals valid, except no, that's just branding. Authority bias is a shortcut. Your brain is trying to save energy by trusting someone else to do the thinking. The problem? Authorities aren't always right. Experts can be misinformed, biased, or just plain wrong, and if we blindly trust them, we risk downloading their mistakes into our own heads. So the next time someone sounds super confident, pause. Don't ask who said this. Ask, does it actually make sense? Because confidence isn't proof, it's just volume with a nice haircut. Number 4, the comfort of simplicity. The truth can be messy, complicated, and kind of annoying, but a lie can be clean, simple, and super easy to remember. That's why so many false facts stick. It's not that they're more interesting, it's that they're easier. Take the myth. Humans only use 10% of their brains. It's catchy. It's short. It sounds like a smart thing to say at a party. And best of all, you don't need to think too hard about it. But if someone tries to explain the real neuroscience behind how the brain works, it's probably going to involve big words, long sentences, and some diagrams that look like alien blueprints. And guess what? Your brain doesn't want to do that much work. It's not lazy. Okay, it is lazy. But mostly, it just likes shortcuts. So when it hears a simple version of a complicated truth, it takes the shortcut every time. It picks the lie that feels like it makes sense over the truth that takes effort. We like our facts like we like our fast food, cheap, fast, and easy to digest. But here's the problem. Oversimplified explanations don't actually help us understand the world. They just help us feel like we do. And the more we rely on them, the more we build a brain full of easy answers and empty thinking. So next time you hear something that feels a little too simple, pause. Ask yourself, is this the truth or just the version that's easiest to swallow? Number 3, social proof and peer pressure. Let's say you're in a room with 20 people. 19 of them all believe something that sounds off. You're the only one who doubts it. What do? If you're like most people, you say nothing. You nod. You agree. You go along with it. Because going against the group feels weird, uncomfortable, unsafe. That's social proof. When we see a lot of people believe something, we assume it must be true. It's not logic, it's survival instinct. Your brain evolved in tribes. And back then, disagreeing with the group didn't just get you funny looks, it could get you kicked out. So we learned to stay in line, smile, blend in. Even today, when someone questions the group, people pull back. They say, "Why are you being difficult?" Or, "Everyone knows this already," and the pressure works. It pushes us to agree, even when we don't. This is why so many false facts stay alive. They've been repeated so often and accepted by so many people that rejecting them makes you look like you're the fool. So your brain says, "Fine, I'll play along," and just like that, the myth lives on. But truth isn't always popular, and popularity isn't proof. Sometimes being the only one with doubts just means you're thinking, and thinking is how myths finally die. Number 2. Emotional impact, greater than accuracy. Want to know what spreads faster than facts? Feelings. The more emotional a statement is scary, sad, shocking, the more your brain wants to remember it. That's because emotions leave a deeper mark than logic ever does. Let's test it. Which sounds scarier? Vending machines cause more deaths than sharks, or sharks are deadly killing machines. Exactly. The vending machine stat is true, but boring. The shark one is false, but exciting. And your brain loves exciting. Emotion hijacks your attention. It makes a story stick in your memory, whether it's true or not. That's why urban legends spread faster than science papers, why viral tweets outpace academic articles, and why political rants get shared more than calm explanations. Fear, anger, and outrage all grab your brain by the face and yell, "Remember this." Marketers and influencers know this too. They don't just sell ideas, they sell feelings. Doctors hate. This one simple trick doesn't need to be accurate. It just needs to get you worked up. That's how false facts survive, not through evidence, but through emotion. And the more emotional a myth is, the harder it is to let go. Even when you know it's wrong, it feels true. So next time something gives you that wow reaction, don't just ask, "Is this interesting?" Ask, "Is this actually real?" Number 1, why we don't change our minds. Okay, here's the wildest part of all this. Even when we're shown real evidence, most of us still don't change our minds. Why? Because facts don't just challenge what we know, they challenge who we are. This is called the backfire effect. When we hear something that goes against what we already believe, we don't go, interesting. We go, "Nope, that's wrong." And we dig in even harder. It's like telling someone their favorite band is actually terrible. Even if you have charts, reviews, and a PowerPoint, they'll probably just argue louder. Because our beliefs aren't just thoughts. They're tied to our identity. They're stitched into our self-image. So when someone questions one of our core beliefs, our brain treats it like an attack. It defends itself even if it means defending something totally false. And that's how myths survive. Not because they're more convincing, but because they're more comfortable to hold on to. Letting go of a false belief means admitting we were wrong, and no one likes doing that. But here's the truth. Changing your mind doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're thinking. It means you're growing. So the next time a fact makes you uncomfortable, don't fight it. Sit with it. Ask yourself, what if I'm wrong? That question might feel scary, but it's where real truth begins.
Let's get right into it. Number 1, your brain is addicted to other people's drama. Imagine living in a small tribe. Every bit of gossip mattered. A feud between families or a new romance. That info could protect you or get you in serious trouble. So our brains evolved to care a lot about social dynamics. Now, we're not dealing with 30 villagers. We're scrolling through the lives of 5 million people online, but your brain still thinks all that drama is critical for survival. That's why it rewards you with dopamine every time you watch a meltdown, read a comment war, or binge-watch beef on TikTok. None of it matters to your life, but your brain doesn't know that. It's like a smoke alarm that blares every time someone lights a candle across the street. And social media platforms, they know this. That's why the algorithm keeps feeding you exactly what your brain craves, an endless stream of chaos. Number 2, the sweet tooth that's actively sabotaging you. Imagine being a caveman stumbling across a wild berry bush. Your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. You stuff your face with as many berries as you can find. Back then, this was smart. Sweet stuff was rare and packed with energy needed for survival. Fast forward to today, and that same brain wiring still tells you to grab all the sweet stuff, except now. Instead of climbing trees for fruit, you're facing aisles of candy bars and sodas. Your brain is stuck in the Stone Age while your body deals with modern junk food. Your ancestors might have found one ripe fruit every few days. But now the average person can easily consume the sugar equivalent of 100 fruits. In a single sitting, your body has no idea what to do with that much sugar. Every time you eat something super sweet, your brain releases happy chemicals. It's like getting a high five from your caveman genes saying, "Good job, we won't starve." But those same chemicals trap you in a loop, craving more and more sugar. Scientists found that people with strong sweet cravings often end up in a weird cycle. The more sugar they eat, The more their body demands, your ancient survival instinct has basically upgraded into a sugar-seeking missile. We're the first humans in history who can get unlimited sugar whenever we want. Our bodies evolved to handle the sugar in one apple, not the sugar in 12 cans of soda. It's like giving a Ferrari engine to a horse and cart. Something's bound to go wrong. And this instinct is so powerful, it can override your modern logical brain. You can know all about healthy eating and still find yourself reaching for that donut. Your inner caveman is sabotaging your gym membership. Number 3. Why your brain still hates nightlights. You're in your cozy modern bedroom, completely safe, but still feel that tingle of unease when the lights go out? Your heart might beat a bit faster, even though you know there's nothing to worry about. This isn't just you being silly. It's your 200,000-year-old brain doing what it does best, trying to keep you alive. Our ancestors didn't have secure homes with alarm systems and locked doors. They had to worry about all sorts of predators that loved hunting in the dark. Those who got nervous in the dark and stayed extra alert survived and passed on their genes. Those who simply didn't get to contribute to the family tree. When the lights go out, your brain starts to fill in the blanks. That coat hanging on your door is definitely a monster. That weird shadow in the corner is obviously a predator waiting to pounce. Your brain is an overprotective parent stuck in its caveman phase. It's like having an antivirus program from the Stone Age constantly warning you about threats that no longer exist. Scientists found our brains complete partial images in the dark, often twisting them into threats. See a weird shape, and your brain thinks danger. Even babies show this instinct, having never seen a predator. It's written in our DNA, passed down through generations of jumpy ancestors. Number 4. Why you secretly hate close talkers in crowded lifts. You're in an elevator minding your own business when suddenly someone gets so close they might as well be trying to merge atoms with you. Your brain immediately goes into full panic mode. It's like they're trying to read the ingredients list on your forehead. This isn't just you being weird. It's actually your caveman brain throwing a fit. Back in the day, having someone this close usually meant they were about to steal your mammoth meat or bonk you with a club. Your ancestors developed this personal space bubble as their first line of defense, an invisible force field that says, "Back off, buddy, this mammoth leg is mine." Now we're in modern times, where the biggest threat in an elevator is someone's tuna sandwich breath, but your brain doesn't know that. When someone stands too close in an elevator, your brain thinks they're trying to raid your invisible fortress. It signals a personal space breach and activates defensive protocols. And that's why you start doing that awkward elevator dance. You know, the one where you try to casually lean away without actually touching the wall. Or when you suddenly become very interested in studying the elevator buttons. Some cultures actually don't have this personal space bubble. In some places, getting super close is totally normal and friendly. But in most Western cities, we treat personal space like it's made of solid gold. It's the most expensive thing in the elevator. Invisible air between people. Scientists call this the intimacy equilibrium theory. Your brain is basically running ancient software on modern hardware. Next time someone in an elevator stands close enough to count your eyelashes, remember it's not you being antisocial. It's just your inner caveman protecting his territory. Number 5. Why creepy crawlies still secretly run your life. Imagine you're scrolling through your phone when suddenly you spot a tiny spider on your screen. Your heart starts racing before your brain even processes what you're seeing. You might even fling your $1,000 phone across the room without thinking twice. But the weird part is, that spider probably couldn't hurt you if it tried. Yet your body reacts like you just spotted a tiger in your living room. Back when our ancestors were living in caves, spotting dangerous creatures quickly meant the difference between life and death. Scientists found that even 6-month-old babies react to pictures of spiders and snakes differently than other animals. Their pupils get bigger, their hearts beat faster, and they pay extra attention. It's like we're born with a built-in danger detector specifically for creepy crawlies. Studies show that babies actually don't mind playing with rubber snakes or spiders. The fear only kicks in when they see their parents freaking out. So while our brains are pre-wired to notice these creatures super quickly, the actual fear response gets cranked up to 11 by watching others. Think about it. You rarely see someone calmly deal with a spider. Usually it's more like, kill it with fire, followed by screaming and throwing shoes. And this reaction makes absolutely no sense anymore. In most places, you're more likely to get hurt falling off your couch than from a spider bite. But try telling that to your primitive brain when you spot one in your shower. Good luck convincing your fight or flight response of that when there's a spider dangling above your bed at night. Number 6. The awkward puddle your nerves make before a speech. Imagine you're about to give a presentation, and suddenly your body decides it's running a marathon. Your palms start leaking like a broken faucet, even though the scariest thing you're facing is Karen from accounting. This whole sweating thing made perfect sense thousands of years ago. Back then, when our ancestors got stressed, it usually meant they were about to sprint away from a hungry lion. The sweat would cool them down during their escape. But your body hasn't gotten the memo that PowerPoint presentations aren't exactly life-threatening. You're standing in front of your colleagues, your body preparing to cool down from a chase that's never going to happen. It's like having a fire sprinkler system that goes off every time you try to make toast. Scientists found this response is controlled by your sympathetic nervous system, your body's drama queen. It sees you walking up to the podium and screams, "Danger! Release the sweat." And the really funny part is, the more you worry about sweating, the more you sweat. Some people can produce enough sweat before a speech to fill a small cup. Your body thinks it's saving you from a predator. It's just really, really bad at telling the difference between a PowerPoint and a saber-toothed tiger. Number 7. Why you own 50. Almost identical black t-shirts. You own 50 identical black t-shirts. Imagine being a caveman and finding the perfect mammoth hide outfit. You make backups. Fast forward to today, and we're still doing the same thing with our black t-shirts. Our ancient brain sees a good black t-shirt and thinks, this is the one that keeps us alive and socially accepted. So we buy it in bulk, like we're preparing for the t-shirt apocalypse. It's the same instinct that made our ancestors collect extra spears and berries. Back then, if you found something that worked, you grabbed as much as you could, because no one knew when they'd find another perfectly shaped spear stick or patch of edible berries. Today, we know logically that H&M isn't going to run out of black t-shirts, but try telling that to your cave brain. That primitive part of your mind is still operating on the grab-it-while-you-can system. It's why you buy 3 identical shirts when they're on sale, then forget you bought them and do it again next month. And again, the month after that. Before you know it, your closet looks like a ninja convention's lost and found. The weird part is, we usually wear the same 2 or 3 favorites anyway. The rest just sit there like a security blanket made of cotton. It's basically your brain's way of saying, better safe than sorry, even though in reality, you're just running out of hangers. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.